So I just got back from a brony convention. I don't really get out much, so I'm glad that I went out since I had a really good time. And after the main events were over, I noticed that a lot of people were playing DS games, so I went over to see what they were playing, and they happened to be playing Pokemon. So I was like, this is interesting. And then all of a sudden, this loudmouth woman just starts going on about how her newest team is unbeatable and it's got like 50 wins in a row and nobody's ever going to beat it. Talking about she's getting bored of Pokemon because she's never going to lose again. And I tell her, I'm like, face me. I was like, you haven't faced me yet. You might have faced everybody else and destroyed everybody in here, but you haven't faced me. And then she was like saying, oh, who are you? Who do you think you are, just talking to me like this? And I'm like, I'm Unhappy Carousel. That's who I am. And then she was like, oh, I know you. And she was like, you're the guy with the Terminator voice. And I was like, okay. And she says, there's nothing special about you. She's just going on like, you're just a regular Smogonite. You use all the sets from the Smogon database. That means that you're predictable. Every Smogonite's predictable. And I was like, stereotypes much. Stereotypes much. And I was telling her, I was like, if you feel that way, why don't we battle right now? And then she's still going on about, oh, all your videos are like prediction this, prediction that. Then she was like, Pokemon isn't about predicting. She was like, Pokemon is about mind games and gimmicks. And I was like, that sounds so foolish. Pokemon is about predicting, but I was like, okay. I was like, why don't we just go ahead and see what you're all about? And here's the team preview. She goes by the name InTheDollHouse, and as soon as I saw the team preview, I was telling her, I was like, you're using a standard Smogon team. I was like, you probably destroyed people because they're probably just casual gamers. They probably don't, care about dedicating extra time to try and become really good. Like Blissey, the special wall, Swampert, the physical wall, Celebi's probably a special attacker of some sort, Zoroark, special attacker of some sort, Gyarados could be Dragon Dance substitute, could be Dragon Dance 3 attacks, Skarmory, pretty sure it's just a physical wall, entry hazard, spikes, stealth rocks, etc. And I'm thinking, well, she has quite a few things that she can begin with. This team is good. It could give me some trouble. And I was thinking, well, she'll probably want to begin with the Swampert to quickly get up the Stealth Rocks, but she could also, begin with Zoroark disguised as Swampert, try and, get maybe a free hit off me or something. She could begin with the Skarmory with Sturdy, has some guaranteed hazards since I don't have a spinner. And I was thinking that she was most likely just going to begin with the Swampert, and I just decided to begin with the Scizor since I'm thinking, well, if anything goes wrong, I can just U-turn out or hard switch if need be. So why don't we get on into this battle and see what happens? And I noticed that her name is Cereza, and I'm like, no way, that's my name. You stole my name. And then she's like, no, sir, you are not the only one who likes Cereza from Bayonetta. And I was like, okay. So automatically, due to the fact that she began with Blissey, I was like, no way, that's Zoroark. I'm going to go ahead and send in Salamence, which I actually regret. I should have sent in Terrakion. You'll see why in a moment. So Take a Guess goes for the substitute, and I'm thinking, okay, Zoroark put up a substitute. Hopefully it does not have hidden power. Ice, and then I'm thinking, Zoroark with leftovers. Something doesn't seem right, so I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw to break the sub. Because Zoroark behind it, so he could nasty plot, swords dance, whatever it's got, and Take a Guess goes for the Ice Beam, and I'm thinking, Blissey with substitute? Zoroark doesn't learn Ice Beam. Like, who puts substitute on Blissey? Like, I don't get this one. I don't. And so I suppose her gimmick style is already kicking in. It's already kicking in, but it's cool because I've got 12 gauge, and I'm going to go ahead and force her to switch out as she sends in You Won't See It. And I honestly predicted the Celebi to come in. That's why I go for the X Scissor. Perhaps I should have just went for the close combat, because by the damage that X Scissor did, close combat would have probably did about 40 to 50 damage. So now I'm going to switch out because I don't want to allow this thing to start setting up, toxic stealth rock. I want to try and toxic it back. And by the damage that this earth power does, I'm like thinking maybe this is a special variant, but it's okay because I'm just going to go for the toxic. But you won't see it just out of nowhere. It goes for the hidden power grass. So I was like, this is like really weird. These are like weird sets that I've like never seen before, and in just 5 turns, the score is already 4-6. So I'm just gonna go ahead and send in my Madam Stick since I know that that's not Zoroark because he does not learn Earth Power, and she's going to send an I am too fast, and I'm thinking, okay, Skarmory, I am too fast. It's a silly name, and I go for the Leaf Storm since I can pretty much hit anything hard because this is a modest Celebi with Life Orb and even times 4 resist that did a hefty amount of damage. And now I'm predicting Spikes or Stealth Rocks to get placed up, so I'm just going to send in Heatran. That way I can force a switch the following turn. But I'm too fast goes for Automize, and this like made me think WTF. A fast Skarmory? I don't know. I'm not sure if she's using random BS or if she's actually like formulating unorthodox openings, but I'm gonna go for the flamethrower as she sends in take a guess. So that barely did anything, but that did more than it should. So this must be an offensive Blissey. It can't be specially defensive because that should have done much less. So here I'm just going to send in 12 gauge again because I'm not really messing around with this Blissey. But she's going to also withdraw. She predicted me to send in the Terrakion, a powerful play on her part, and now I'm going to have to call 12 gauge back because I don't want him being destroyed by Earth Power, because I actually need him. And she's going to double switch again, calling Swampert back, sending in Trickster. So here I'm thinking, that could be Zoroark, but since this Celebi's got some special bulk, I can go ahead and try and Thunder Wave this guy, but Trickster goes for the substitute, so I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this could be bad right now, so I'm gonna call Madam Sticks back, predicting a Sucker Punch or a Dark Pulse, and I'm gonna send in 12 gauge to try and get the justified boost. But instead, Trickster goes for the Swords Dance, so I'm like, well, okay, this is an interesting Zoroark set. You know, I don't run into too many Swords Dance Zoroarks, and leftovers, I don't know. Maybe she just likes running leftovers on substitute Pokemon, so I'm going to go for the X Scissor just to break the sub, just in case, you know, she runs Focus Blast, I can survive it, or whatever, Low Sweep. And here Trickster goes for the Seed Bomb, so I'm like, a physically offensive Celebi? This game is just, I don't know, this game was just like so unorthodox. It's like all of her Pokemon are like reversed of what they should be. Like Celebi's normally a special attacker, now it's physical, and Zoroark doesn't learn Seed Bomb. Like I'm like pretty much like mind effed right now. So I end up sending in Bullet Head because I feel it's the only thing that I can use against that Celebi, and she sends in Don't Assume. Now I'm going to call Bullet Head back because I was predicting the real Celebi to come in, or the Zoroark I should say, and I'm going to withdraw Bustin' Caps because I think that that's Zoroark. For some reason I'm just thinking that that's Zoroark, and here Don't Assume goes for the Flamethrower, so I was like, I knew it. I knew that that was Zoroark, so unfortunately Celebi's going to fall, and that Flamethrower did a lot. It didn't do as much with the Life Orb, so she must be like a mixed attacker, but this Flamethrower is going to easily clean Madam Sticks up, and this is what made me just say WTF in my mind. Like it screamed it because Don't Assume's Moxie Boost just kicked in, and I was like, who the F uses Flamethrower on Gyarados? Like, it worked. Yes, it worked, but like it's like all of her Pokemon. It's like her team really is an anti-Smogon team. Like it's just it's crazy. So I end up calling back Caesar because I try to trick her into going for the Flamethrower to give me a Flash Fire boost, which is pointless. And here I go for the Toxic, but it misses. So I don't know. She goes for the Earthquake and misclicks as I go for the Toxic again. And it really doesn't matter from this point because, I don't know, this Gyarados has Surf, so it's like some kind of special attacking Moxie Gyarados. It probably has like, I don't know, like even stats on attack and special attack and speed or something like that. I've never seen a special attack in Gyarados before though, so that Surf did not KO the Heatran. I don't have any special defense investment in this Heatran, so Gyarados' special attack obviously isn't that high, but it still did quite a bit of damage, so I just go for the flamethrower because there's not really much more I can do in this situation as she goes for the Surf to finish off Bullet Head. So once again, this team is just, I don't know. This battle was too weird for me. Like, I suppose I understand why people haven't defeated it if it really does have a 50 plus win streak or whatever, because just you wouldn't expect any of this stuff. Like, so many people would switch Ferrothorn in against Gyarados. They would get hit with the Life Orb Flamethrower, and then they would think it was Zoroark, so they'd probably like switch and then get hit with a Surf and just mind games. And then this weird Skarmory has weak armor, and I'm like why not Sturdy? Why an offensive Skarmory? Like, I'll need to look into this stuff and see if maybe they have any ideas on Google or something, maybe on some other Pokemon websites, but all I can do now is just go for the Bullet Punch. I'm like, it wouldn't even really matter if I wasn't locked. It wouldn't, because from this point she can just destroy the rest of my team. So yeah, she was talking a lot of trash. She was talking a lot of trash because she 6-0'd me, but I just felt that this battle was so unorthodox, that it was so weird and just unusual, that I was gonna upload it anyway. So, I can take the loss like a man, and it's all good. This Swampert was doing tremendous damage, like just crazy damage. So